Imagine stumbling upon an object so strange and out of place that it defies everything you thought you knew about history. A perfectly machined piece of gear from a civilization that shouldn't have known metal, a map depicting continents before they drifted apart, a battery thousands of years old. These aren't the whispers of myth or legend. These are real artifacts unearthed from the ground, relics that challenge our understanding of the past and whisper of mysteries yet unsolved. From a wooden supercomputer, an unreadable 600-year-old book, and even a potential ancient battery, each find on our list promises to leave you flabbergasted. So buckle up and get ready to see the 12 most incredible discovered ancient artifacts scientists still can't explain, because the number one spot on our countdown promises to give you chills. Number 12, wooden supercomputer found underwater. The Antikythera mechanism might be one of the most interesting old things that have ever been found. This amazing device was found in 1901 in a shipwreck off the coast of the Greek island of Antikythera. It has fascinated both scholars and scientists. The Antikythera mechanism, which was made around 100 BC, is thought to be one of the oldest examples of a complex analog computer. At first, the device, which was made up of a complicated set of gears and dials inside a wooden box, was thought to be a simple guidance tool. But more research showed that its real purpose was to guess where planets would be in the sky and when eclipses would happen. The gadget could correctly track the movements of the sun, moon, and planets, as well as predict when solar and lunar eclipses would happen. One of the most amazing things about the Antikythera mechanism is how advanced its technology was for its time. The device shows that the ancient Greeks had a deep understanding of how the heavens work and is a big step forward in their engineering and astronomy knowledge. Researchers have had to rethink what they thought they knew about the technological skills of old societies since it was found. Many things about the Antikythera mechanism are still unknown, even after more than 100 years of research. There are still many questions about where it came from, who made it, and how common this kind of technology was in the old world. Because of how complicated it is, some people believe that a single master craftsman or a team of talented artists may have created the device. Number 11, 600-year-old unreadable book. Many people have different ideas about what the Voynich manuscript means. It is one of the most mysterious old objects. Wilfrid Voynich, a rare book trader, found the text in the Villa Mondragon near Rome in 1912. Since then, it has captivated academics, cryptographers, and fans alike. The book, which dates back to the early 1400s, is made up of 240 vellum pages with detailed drawings of plants, astrology charts, and people. The text is written in an unknown language. Many experts have worked together for hundreds of years, but the Voynich manuscript's contents has still not been translated. The writing is made up of a unique set of characters that look like Latin letters. Linguists and cryptographers have tried to figure out what it means but have been unsuccessful. There are many ideas about where the book came from, such as the idea that it could be a hidden plant or medicine text, a complex prank, or even a work from another planet. The drawings inside the book add to its mystery. They show strange plants that don't belong to any known species, as well as models of the heavens and women swimming. These pictures give us hints about what the text was meant to do and the society that made it, but they also make it harder to figure out what it means. In the past few years, new technologies and studies from different fields have shed new light on the Voynich manuscript. High-resolution image methods have made it possible to look more closely at the text and pictures, showing small details that were missed before. It has been tried to find trends or language traits in the text using computational studies and statistical methods, but no real breakthroughs have been made yet. Scholars have been trying to figure out what the Voynich manuscript means for a long time, and people are still very interested in it. Its cryptic meanings and secret beginnings show how fascinating old riddles are and how little people can understand. For as long as the Voynich manuscript is not translated, it will continue to fascinate and inspire people. Number 10. Encrypted scrolls or ancient battery technology. The Baghdad battery is an interesting historical find that has caused a lot of talk and guesswork ever since it was found. The pottery pots in this group were found near Baghdad, Iraq. They are from the Parthian or Sasanian period, which was between 250 BC and 224 AD. They put an iron bar and a copper cylinder inside each pot. The cylinder is closed with asphalt. One of the most popular ideas about the Baghdad battery is that it might have been a very early type of battery. This idea says that the pots could have been filled with an electrolyte, which could have been an acidic or alkaline solution like vinegar or wine. When the copper cylinder and iron stick were submerged in the liquid, They might have created a weak electric current. Some people who believe this idea think that the Baghdad battery may have been used for electroplating, which is the process of putting a thin layer of metal on something. But there are people who don't believe this theory. Some researchers say that there isn't enough proof to say for sure that the items were used in this way. Some of the other ideas they have are that the pots could have been used to hold holy scrolls or relics. It's also not the first time that something similar has been found. The Baghdad battery was found in Egypt and Italy, among other places. Because of this, some people think that ancient people may have had a basic understanding of electricity and electrochemistry. Scientists, scholars, and researchers still don't agree on what the Baghdad battery was really used for after decades of study and analysis. Number 9. Giant drawings in the desert. One of the most interesting old geological secrets is the Nazca lines, which are carved into the desert floor in southern Peru. These geoglyphs cover an area of about 450 square miles and are made up of hundreds of big patterns that show different animals, plants, and geometric shapes. By taking away the reddish-brown iron oxide-coated rocks that cover the Nazca Desert's surface, the lines show the lighter-colored earth below. These stark and long-lasting images have fascinated both scholars and tourists. The Nazca lines are especially confusing because of how big and clear they are. Even though some of the figures are hundreds of feet long, their forms look surprisingly like they did when seen from above. People who lived in the area from about 100 BC to 800 AD and made these designs have wondered how they could have done them without the help of current technology because they are so complicated and big. Both the ways used to plan and carry out the building of the lines and their purpose are still not fully understood. Many ideas have been put forward to explain how and why the Nazca lines appear and what they mean. Researchers have different ideas about what the lines were used for. Some say they were paths or marks for religious or formal processions, while others say they were astronomical dates or alignments. Still, others think they were meant to be used to talk to gods or other celestial beings. Researchers have been looking into the Nazca lines for decades, but they still can't agree on what they're really for. The Nazca people didn't leave any written records that could help us understand what they believed or why they did what they did. Scholars can't get direct proof from the old people who lived there, so they have to depend on archaeological finds, comparisons with other cultures, and readings of the patterns and meanings of the lines to piece together a story about what they mean. As a result, the Nazca lines continue to amaze both experts and tourists, showing how clever and mysterious ancient people were. Number 8. Giant stone balls. Costa Rica's ancient spheres hold a secret. For decades, the mysterious stone spheres of Costa Rica have fascinated scientists and scholars. They can be found all over the Diques Delta area. These round pieces of stone are usually cut from granovalerite, gabbro, or limestone and can be as small as a few inches or as big as over 2 feet across. Their perfect roundness and smooth surfaces show a very high level of skill, especially when you think about the tools that pre-Columbian people in the area had access to. Researchers are still trying to figure out what the stone spheres were used for. According to some theories, they were status marks or signs of social rank. Other theories say they had religious or astronomical meanings. Some people think they were used to mark the edges of old communities' lands or to show where important places were in those communities. Scientists are also not sure how these stone spheres were made. Without modern tools, it would have taken a lot of skill and accuracy to carve such big, perfectly round things. There are some ideas that the spheres may have been formed by beating, pecking, and grinding, possibly with tools made of harder stones. But the exact process is still unknown, which adds to the wonder of these old objects. Since these stone spheres were found, many protection attempts have been made to keep them from being damaged or stolen. The stone spheres of Costa Rica were named a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 2014. This was done because of their cultural importance and the need to protect them for future generations. Number 7. Did the Ottomans have super ships? Ottoman geographer Piri Reis made the Piri Reis map in 1513. It has fascinated historians and cartographers for hundreds of years because it is so accurate and includes details that were not possible with the knowledge that was available at the time. The map shows the coasts of South America, Africa, Europe, and a lot of islands, even Antarctica, which wasn't officially found until many years later. The map is especially strange because it shows Antarctica in such great detail, including its mountain ranges and rivers. This makes me think that the person who made it had access to more up-to-date geography information, or maybe even older maps that have been lost. A possible explanation is that Piri Reis got ideas for his map from older ones, maybe old maps made when Antarctica wasn't frozen over like it is now. Exact coasts and other land features that would have been challenging to map without seeing them firsthand support this idea. Skeptics, on the other hand, say that such advanced knowledge of Antarctica would not have been likely since the area was not explored much in the 1600s. The Mid-Atlantic Ridge, a submarine mountain line that runs down the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, is another interesting feature of the Piri-Reis map. Because this trait is so accurate, some people think that the person who made the map knew a lot about advanced navigating methods or even the geography of the ocean, which wasn't officially found until the 20th century. Even after many studies and analyses, scholars and cartographers are still not sure where the Piri-Reis map came from or how it was made. Some people think it's proof of lost cities or great old knowledge, while others think it's just a sign of luck, guessing, or maybe even fraud. Number 6. Jesus burial cloth or medieval fake. The Shroud of Turin is a piece of linen that has a faint picture of a man who looks like he has been physically hurt, like by being crucified. The small piece of cloth, which is about 4.4 inches long and 1.1 inches wide, is kept in the Cathedral of St. John the Baptist in Turin, Italy. The picture on the shroud, which is sometimes called the Man of the Shroud, shows a man with a beard and cuts on his arms, feet, and sides, just like the Bible says Jesus Christ was crucified. Fans and experts disagree about the past of the shroud. Some say it comes from ancient times and could be the grave shroud of Jesus Christ, while others say it is a fake from the Middle Ages. In the 14th century, the shroud was first mentioned in history when it was shown in a church in Léry, France. However, where it came from in the past is still unknown. Scientists have looked into the shroud but haven't come to a conclusion. Radiocarbon dating done on the shroud in 1988 showed that it was made in the Middle Ages, especially between 1260 and 1390 AD. However, a more recent study has called into question the accuracy of the samples used for dates since they came from a piece of cloth that had been fixed up in the Middle Ages. Other research has also come up with different ideas about how old the shroud is, such as the idea that it might have been contaminated or have an unusually high carbon content. People have also looked closely at the picture on the shroud, which is sometimes called a film negative. Some experts have come up with different ideas about how the picture could have been made, such as drawing, burning, or a natural chemical reaction between body fluids and the cloth. However, no one theory has gained widespread acceptance, and the precise method of creation of the image is still a mystery. Number 5. Sunken Paradise Found. The myth of the lost city of Atlantis has captivated people for hundreds of years, mostly because of Plato's vivid accounts of it. Timaeus and Critias, two conversations by Plato, say that Atlantis was a strong and advanced society that lay beyond the Pillars of Hercules, which most people think of as the Strait of Gibraltar. People claimed that the city was wealthy, equipped with cutting-edge technology, and had kings who were descendants of the sea god Poseidon. The tale, on the other hand, says that Atlantis died in a terrible accident and sank beneath the waves in one day and one night. Many scholars, scientists, and fans still don't agree on where exactly Atlantis was, even though Plato wrote very detailed reports of it. According to some theories, Atlantis was in the Mediterranean, while others say it was in places as far away as the Caribbean or Antarctica. There have been many trips over the years to find Atlantis. Researchers have searched the seas and looked at rock formations for signs of the lost society. Many ideas about Atlantis are based on guesswork and fantasy, but some experts have tried to find historical and physical proof to support the story. Some people think that Atlantis might have been based on the Minoan culture, which grew strong on the island of Crete around 2000 BC. People in later times might have thought that the Minoans' advanced marine society and grand towns were a reference to the fictional island of Atlantis. Number 4. Guardian of Giza or alien artifact. The Great Sphinx of Giza is one of ancient Egypt's most recognizable and intriguing monuments. The Sphinx, carved from a single large block of limestone, is a gigantic sculpture showing a legendary monster with a lion's body and a human's head, most likely symbolizing Pharaoh Khafra. It is said to have been built approximately 2500 BC during the reign of Khafra on the Giza Plateau near the Great Pyramids. The Great Sphinx, standing over 20 feet tall and roughly 73 feet long, is an enormous figure that has captured people's imaginations for millennia. Despite its significance, the Sphinx remains shrouded in mystery. One of the most persistent mysteries is its function. While most Egyptologists think the Sphinx was a guardian figure who protected the Giza necropolis, the precise importance of its symbolism and function in ancient Egyptian religious and funeral activities is still contested. Another element of the Sphinx that has perplexed academics is its age. While mainstream Egyptological views imply that the Sphinx was built during Khafre's reign, several alternate explanations place its origin considerably earlier, attributing it to a lost culture or superior ancient technology. Weathering patterns on the Sphinx's body have spurred suspicion that it is far older than originally assumed, contributing to the mystery of its origin. In addition, the procedures employed to make the Great Sphinx are still being investigated. The monument, carved from a single block of limestone, would have taken a great deal of effort and technical talent to produce. The accuracy of its workmanship, notably in the intricacy of the facial features, has prompted some academics to speculate on the methods and instruments used by the ancient Egyptians in its manufacture. Number 3. Walking statues or lost technology? The Easter Island Moai are among the world's most intriguing and mysterious archaeological marvels. These massive stone figures, carved from volcanic rock, dot the landscape of Easter Island, also known as Rapa Nui, an isolated island in the Pacific Ocean. The Moai vary in height from a few inches to over 20 feet, with the tallest weighing over 80 tons. One of the most perplexing elements of the Moai is their enormous size and the accuracy with which they were carved. Scholars are still debating how the Rapa Nui people, who lived on the island between 1100 and 1600 AD, transported these gigantic sculptures over the difficult terrain and erected them on ceremonial platforms known as aho. Some hypotheses claim that the sculptures were moved using a mix of rolling logs and human effort, while others offer more elaborate techniques like ropes, sledges, and even walking the statues upright. The function of the Moai is also obscure. While it is largely agreed that they were erected to commemorate ancestors or key tribal people, the specific meaning of the sculptures and the rites linked with them is unknown. Some academics think the Moai acted as marks of tribal territory or depictions of strong ancestral spirits, while others believe they were used in fertility rites or to safeguard the island from invaders. The demise of the Rapa Nui society, as well as the stoppage of Moai manufacture in the 16th century, further add to the enigma surrounding these towering figures. As the island's population fell and resources became few, building of Moai ended, leaving numerous sculptures incomplete in quarries across the island. The introduction of European explorers in the 18th century severely disturbed Rapa Nui civilization, resulting in the destruction of numerous Moai and the eradication of much of the island's traditional knowledge and culture. Number 2. Ancient code cracker. One of the most mysterious and interesting things from ancient times is the Phaistos disc. The Italian archaeologist Luigi Pernier discovered this clay disc in 1908 at the Phaistos Minoan Palace site on the island of Crete. Its strange writings have captivated both experts and the public. On both sides of the disc, there are 241 symbols grouped in a circular design that starts at the edge and goes all the way to the middle. There are 45 different ancient signs used to stamp or press the symbols into the clay. Each sign stands for a different item, animal, or vague idea. The writing on the Phaistos disc has been hard to figure out for more than 100 years because it is so different from any other old writing system that is known to us. Scholars have proposed a variety of theories about where the marks came from and what they signify, but none of them have received universal acceptance. It's hard to decipher what the Phaistos disc means because there isn't a bilingual text or known language background to match the marks to. There are no texts written in a known language that go with this old script, like there are with Egyptian hieroglyphs or Linear B, another script used by the Minoans. This means that we don't know what the symbols mean. Several ideas have been put forward about what the Phaistos disc is and what it contains. Some researchers think it might be a religious or ritual item that was used for fortune-telling or as a charm. Some people think it might be a business record, a poem or song, a board game, or even musical notes. The figures on the Phaistos disc have not been able to be deciphered despite many efforts using statistical analysis, comparative languages, and other methods. The fact that no one has been able to figure out what the disc says has only added to its mystery, leading experts and fans to speculate and argue. Number 1. Cursed crystals or ancient supercomputers? The crystal skulls are a fascinating collection of objects, each meticulously carved from a single quartz crystal. These skulls, varied in size and design, have piqued the interest of experts and fans alike. While their origins are unknown, some associate them with supernatural powers and ancient importance, while others believe they are recent constructions or frauds. Some of the most well-known crystal skulls include the Mitchell-Hedges skull, the British Museum skull, the Paris skull, and the Smithsonian skull. Each skull has exceptional workmanship, with exquisite features and smooth surfaces indicating sophisticated carving processes. The Mitchell-Hedges skull, in particular, is often referenced for its alleged magical qualities and links to old Mayan civilization stories. One of the crystal skull's great mysteries is its alleged link to ancient Mesoamerican societies, notably the Maya. Some proponents of this hypothesis claim that ancient Mayan artists fashioned the skulls to store information, spiritual energy, or even the souls of dead monarchs. Others believe the skulls were utilized in religious rites or for divination and healing. Skeptics say that the crystal skulls are recent fabrication carved in the 19th or 20th century to meet the rising desire for strange objects. They cite a lack of clear archaeological evidence tying the skulls to ancient civilizations, as well as flaws in their workmanship and provenance. What do these enigmatic objects mean for our understanding of the past? Do they challenge our deeply held beliefs about the technological advancements of ancient civilizations, the origins of human knowledge, and the very nature of time itself? These are questions that continue to perplex archaeologists and scholars around the world, and while we may never have all the answers, these incredible discoveries serve as a profound reminder that our understanding of history is a dynamic and ever-evolving narrative, constantly shaped by new revelations from the past. These were the 12 most incredible discovered ancient artifacts scientists still can't explain. Did any of them surprise you? Do let us know in the comment section.